You're watching Telecom TV's exclusive video coverage of the Gen 15 event from Dallas. I'm joined now by Michael Strople, who is president of Allstream and also chairman of the MEF. Michael, thanks for joining us again on Telecom TV.
My pleasure.
Can I ask, first of all, when we look at Carrier Ethernet 2.0 certified services, how can we build on those and use those as a foundation upon which we introduce these new dynamic connectivity services?
The Carrier Ethernet 2.0 specification is the foundation on which all of the future MEF standards are based, and service orchestration presumes Carrier Ethernet 2.0. So as we go forward, the adoption of Carrier Ethernet 2.0 is an assumption or a presumption before we move to the next phase of networking buried inside of what we're calling the third network.
So we have Carrier Ethernet 2.0 as a foundation, and how do we go about combining LSO, SDN, NFV? How do we combine all those together?
I think sometimes people might have been confused that the third network replaced Carrier Ethernet 2.0. In fact, it didn't. The third network builds on Carrier Ethernet 2.0, and the third network actually introduces LSO, service orchestration, lifecycle service orchestration, with Carrier Ethernet to build what is that third network. So the third network vision actually puts together service orchestration with the foundational building block of Carrier Ethernet 2.0.
How do we go about encouraging more take-up of the MEF specification services? How do we get a broader adoption? Because we want to sort of take this further and further.
It's a bit of a snowball. 5 years ago, we were trying to figure out how we drive adoption of Carrier Ethernet 2.0. Now, you don't need to drive adoption of Carrier Ethernet 2.0. It's turned from a pull to a push. In the same way, now thinking about lifecycle service orchestration, we're in the push phase on service orchestration. Given enough time, that push phase will turn to a pull phase. And that's really the life cycle, if you like, of service orchestration and what will be the third network.
Are we seeing the WAN and the cloud markets merging or coming together?
There was a time when LAN, MAN, and WAN meant something. I'm not sure they mean anything anymore. Now it's networking in general. If I think about WAN, WAN to me is part of a cloud, and it is the networking component of the cloud. But the cloud is bigger than WAN, because the cloud actually encompasses functionality that before the WAN was really just transport. So the transport elements of WAN are now embedded into what we'll talk about and call cloud, but cloud provides so much more than just network transport.
So when we as network operators introduce and evolve our networks, introduce these new technologies into our networks and build on the foundations we've got, what kind of new service capabilities are we able to offer?
The service capabilities will start by offering the service capabilities that we have today, and the ones, however, today that take us a long time to deploy are highly customized. We'll find will be rapidly delivered over some of our next generation networks. Then that will open the possibilities to the innovators and the Imagineers, if I can put it that way, and to look at the needs of an enterprise. And where before the needs of an enterprise drove a 3-year R&D cycle that that had a huge cost to it, now will become a rapid development cycle that then may be available and applicable to other enterprises. So they'll be driven by a need inside the enterprise and facilitated by a platform that is agile and can meet those needs.
So it's all about the platform, really.
It is about the platform, and that platform is our third network.
There's a move in networking to introduce open solutions. We're seeing open standards, open source everywhere. What, though, does open actually mean? So
MEF is interesting in that the MEF has always been open, and the MEF doesn't have a mandate per se. The MEF exists and has been successful because it is a collection and the contribution of its members have made MEF successful, and it has drawn people into the MEF. And so in fact, what will drive this adoption is that continued relevance of MEF, and we'll see that over time, this will be the venue and the forum on which that innovation will be built.
Great, Michael, thank you very much indeed.